Good evening, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, the fallout. Let's talk about the fallout from yesterday's meeting. But first, the Yonkers voice and Anderson do a little interview. How cute. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Filtered. Tonight, let's talk about the fallout of yesterday's city council meeting where they voted to extend the term limits once again. But first, I want to talk about this interview that someone sent me just a little bit ago. Yonkers voice and Anderson, that guy Anderson from Inside Yonkers. I don't understand these guys. I don't. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Boy, you have to look. I didn't even do my hair. You definitely have to have, thick, super thick skin to want to speak out and fight for what's right here in the city of Yonkers. And I can see why a lot of people definitely back down. And, it's tough. It's not easy. I've gotten a lot of negative, accusations, allegations. People have sent CPS to my place, my office. And I've had nasty posts and videos that have been shared and without the proper context. And, false narrative is being spread. And although it's changing up now, it's been rough. It's been hard. And most of why it's been rough and hard for me is because it's been affecting my wife negatively. And I think that's the point. I think they want to get at her. And they hope that if they see her, if I see her really going through it because of what they're doing and saying, that I would just go ahead and say, forget it. I'm done with this. And, and I'll stop talking about the things that I'm talking about. But I'm not going to just do that. My wife is not going to allow me to just do that. And at the end of the day, as long as we know that they're not true, we're good. I've put it into the hands of my attorney, and I'm leaving it at that. And I haven't really mentioned this guy anymore, but today he and Anderson Flan Sr. from Inside Yonkers decided to do an hour-long interview or discussion on Freddie Vasquez. Now, listen, how much more can you do to a man and his family? You put that video out there, you created a false narrative, you have CPS at my place. I've had to have police come now to do reports. I've had prank phone calls. And yeah, I have put posts about you, Rui Ben Rose, but I've put facts about you. I never created a lie about you. I didn't create a lie about your wife. I don't have CPS at your house. And I didn't do an hour-long discussion with another individual who happens to be bitter about you. The fact is that you were arrested for fondling a girl under the age of 16. It was at your karate school on Lake Avenue. It made it to the New York Times. You pled guilty, and the charge was lowered for that. But the fact remains is that you were accused of it, and you decided to plead guilty, because I know if I didn't do it, I'm fighting that all the way. All the way. But you pled guilty, and I put documentation. I have sealed records, Rose, but you have a false narrative with an edited video and other bitter people to support what you're saying about me. And I appreciate all the people, because there's a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you I haven't met. And I appreciate the comments, because people are telling me that a lot of the comments, Freddie, are in support of you. They see that he's trying to attack you, that he has an agenda. He has a vendetta against you. And of course he would. I've told everybody in Yonkers about his truth. And so now he's looking to create lies or twist things that may have been true, but now he's twisted them so much that they are complete lies. Now he's backing off and not saying it happened on Thursday, the video that you saw that he posted, because he said to everyone at first that this was an incident that happened this past Thursday. But he switches it up in this hour-long discussion on Freddy Vasquez. And he admits that it was almost 2 years ago now. He admits that there were no children there now except for my 2 children, but he's still trying to twist it in a way that, well, there were still children there. Yeah, it was a Martin Luther King holiday. The kids were off from school. So my wife and kids were there with me. Am I not allowed to do that in my office, my place of business? I can't, I'm not expecting to have people come and attack me. That's usually not what happens. And that's what ended up happening that day. And it was 3 individuals, not 1. I had 2 individuals restrained, but that's why you edited the video. And now you're going to do an hour-long discussion on me, and it's fine. It's, honestly, he says something like, or Anderson, one of the 2 says, well, you put yourself out there, you got to expect that. I'm not, having an issue with what you say about me, right? Especially if it's true, right? But you've created lies, and not just about me, but about my wife. And then you say things that have no relevance about my wife. So out of that entire hour discussion you had about me, what truly, really, really bothered me the most, but I'm not going to react in a way that you are trying to say that I would, right? And I think that's what you want. You want me to react so people can say, look, see, I told you, the guy's crazy. I'm not. I'm just going to add it to my collection of evidence that I have against you and others, and I'll see you guys in court. I'll have my day in court, and I will own your page, Ruros, because you don't have much else to offer. And as you say, your Yonkers voice is how you make your money. Well, lawsuits, when you lose them, you have to pay money. And I'm going to take that page. And Anderson, honestly, I didn't do anything to you, bro. I didn't. You were bitter because I didn't buy Inside Yonkers. I didn't want it. It seemed sketchy the way you were pressuring me and rushing me. It was $1,000, dude. You talk about your businesses. So then what is the issue? So you did post my address. He told everybody he didn't. But in fact, Ruros even corrects him. These guys are like, honestly, like, stop it. I don't need to be aggressive with you. I have brain power. Ruros admits that my address was on the lawsuits that he posted. And that was what I had an issue with, because I have people now having issues with me. And that's cool, again, but I don't need my address being spread out there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Right? And you also made a video about me, Anderson, and you were saying the Freddy Vasquez syndrome. And you even spoke negatively about that man next to you, Ruros. But now you guys are buddy-buddy to tag team Freddy Vasquez. But I don't care. You could do what you want to me. But what I don't like is this. Ruros, this is very disrespectful. My wife has not done anything to you, has not said anything about you. You've already attacked her. You've already put her on Front Street. Enough. I haven't done that to anybody other than you. I didn't do that to your wife, if you have one or not. I didn't do that to your mother, your son, even, and he's got a lot of stuff. I haven't posted his picture. I didn't post your address. And I didn't make up lies. Nor am I saying things as disgusting and disrespectful as what this man says right here. I don't have audio because is that no audio?
Every single day. I even wonder when he gets intimate with his wife, does he think about me?
Well, I mean, I don't know that much, but I know.
I don't think you know much, Anderson. I don't think you know much. So he says he wonders, and I don't know why you're wondering this, but if further proof of the type of individual that you are, you wonder if when I'm intimate with my wife, do I think about you? I wouldn't wonder that about any man at all, for any reason. If I have an issue with that man, I'm definitely not thinking if he's thinking about me while he's being intimate with another person. That's a bit strange, and it freaked and creeped my wife out, and she felt unsafe now. You are a creepy pedophile, Ruros. But I'm going to just say what I have to say here about you, and I'm going to move on, and I'm not going to say nothing about you again. I'm going to let my attorney take care of it, and we'll be in court. We will be. We will be. And you just gave me more ammunition because that is very irrelevant. And with a man with your past and history with sexual predatory behavior, that is scary and dangerous to my wife. But that's okay. Every dog has his day. And I will have my day with you in court, and you will see exactly what I was telling you. Because you are going down, buddy. And Anderson, you decide what you want to do, because if I hear anything else from you, I'm going to put you in there as well. Okay? And you're going to have a real reason to come up to Yonkers. And it's not because you're going to be running for city council for District 3, because that's what this man says he's thinking about. So Ruros and this guy, after an hour of discussing Freddie Vasquez, make a special announcement on Anderson Falan. Let's hear Anderson's special announcement.
Care less about Freddie.
No, look at.
I'm staying focused on the stuff that I do. I prefer to put my energy on the things that I've been doing for the 17 years. Some people like it, some people don't. I go after the fires, after the to come on my show, I sit down.
I'm very big on my insight. The people want. So
You see this internet problem?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, speak.
No, I'm saying before we finish this interview,
Listen.
I want you to make that announcement that you are thinking about running for that you are thinking about running for council here in the city.
I don't. Sorry. So this is a very, 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 very thorough process that I have to, think. I have to plan it out very accordingly, because you can't just get up and say that you're going to be running for anything.
Especially when you live in Florida.
It takes affidavits. It takes a lot of time, money, effort to even be able to say that you're running for something. But I'm in high hopes and highly considering a run for the District 3 City Council seat for the city of Yonkers. I'm not making that official, but it is a very, very big thing that I've been looking into doing. I don't think that the 3rd district is being represented right. So I do believe that I would be, if I run, a good asset to the 3rd district. I don't think.
Well, keep us posted, okay?
Well, let us know when you actually make it official, Anderson, when you make your very big, big, big thing announcement that you will be running for District 3 City Council here in Yonkers, although you live in Florida currently. But what happened to your businesses? Aren't you going to run those? Yeah, Jose, you're absolutely right. I am going to focus on it. And I just wanted to touch on it here because, a lot of people are seeing this stuff that he's putting out there. And it's being done with intention, believe it or not. The goal is to make me look bad to people. This is them trying to build a narrative about Freddie Vasquez, and they're utilizing Ruros. And he's going to take a lot of the brunt of it. and he doesn't even realize it, right? And what's sad to me and what we need to also look at is the individuals that they exploit. Folks, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I promise you when I say this, I mean this with all due respect. But Anderson Flan, based on what I've seen in my engagements and interactions with him, obviously has some kind of something going on. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but we obviously, you can see, watch the videos, the podcast he does. There's obviously some things there. You know what I mean? It's not, he's thinking about running for District 3 and he lives in Florida. So with that being said, when you hear this man say anything about me, please take it with a grain of salt. And I would love for anyone who supports me or truly supports Freddie to make sure you let Rue Rose know that you don't appreciate what he's doing, especially to his wife. If he wants to talk about me, fine. But don't be so disrespectful to a woman, because he loves to talk about Freddie Vasquez and how I attack people. I attack women because I speak on the 4 women on the city council. But this is what he says about my wife. I've never talked about any of the women on the city council that way. And then they try to harp on this little black puppet comment. But again, for those who may not have heard this or not heard why that was said, or for those who just want to continue to perpetuate that narrative in order to make me look bad, I'm going to say this again very clearly, and I won't say it anymore. I didn't call Lakisha Collins Bellamy a little black puppet. What I said was that her handlers, one of them in particular, who happens to be white, blonde hair, blue eyes, and I only say that because I'm just trying to be descriptive, who I hear is, I don't want to even say whatever, is the one that brought her into politics, is the reason why she makes the decisions. And I said, that's how they looking at her as, because they truly, at the end of the day, don't care about her. Because if they did, they would have never allowed her or Tasha Diaz to go off that long on a live feed at a constituent, inciting madness, pandemonium in the city council chamber, where we saw a fight break out. And I don't even know the details of that, so I'm not going to speculate unless someone knows and they can post, but I'm not going to speculate. All I know is that one individual was removed, and then Hector Santiago, who was had his arm in a sling, right, was removed. I hear that he was arrested, actually. I don't know why. And me and Hector Santiago, haven't been getting along or whatever, but I'm not going to say anything negative about him in this incident and just create something that I don't know, because that's not what I do. Okay? And if I talk about officials, folks, best believe that I'm looking out for the best interest of the people. And so for them to fault me for speaking about our elected officials and the poor job that they've done that's impacted the people should tell you everything. And you should therefore go to that man and say, listen, Rue Rose, that's disgusting. That's nasty. And you're talking about a woman sexually, my wife. You have a conviction for sexual misconduct with a minor. Like, that's nasty. That's not okay. And yeah, I mentioned you because I know you were behind that CPS thing. And so for you to say that I was watching child pornography in front of kids is only the mind of a man that thinks like you. And what were you doing with child pornography in your mailbox, Rue? Right? So I could talk about that, but I'm not. I'm going to leave that for my attorney. He has the documents. And I just wanted to say, leave my wife out of it. Say what you want about me. That's fine. I don't care. None of it bothered me, but that's disgusting. And now my wife is a bit creeped out. She's a bit concerned, especially with your documented past. And so now maybe I should consider an order of protection, because that's what I'm going to do. Because you are a liar. And I know that you told certain people that I came and knocked on your door when I did not. And you know it. So there's something up with you. And we have to think about these individuals who we allow near our kids, in our school buildings, and in our community in general. Because look at what he's doing. The man is actually psychotic. He's delusional. He's creating a false narrative. He's purposely trying to not just hurt me, but hurt my wife and my kids. Because ultimately, if we don't make money or we lose jobs or we lose whatever, our kids are affected. CPS, my kids are affected, right? And I can very well call CPS on some of these individuals. Trust me, with the information I have, I can levy an allegation against them, but I'm not, because I wouldn't do that to their kids. And I wouldn't stoop that low. So if you don't like what I say about you, then you should have never done what you did. But don't create lies and don't go after my wife. Like you said, nothing really, nothing. Everything is a joke, but that was not cool. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. Anyway, Falco, enough of this guy, because I'm not going to give him the same amount of time that I've given him. So anyway, folks, let's go back to this meeting. What a freaking meeting, right, guys? And again, I've been thinking about this meeting for a while. A lot of people are talking about it. Wow. I want to hear your folks' what you have to say on it. I'm going to send you, I want to send a link. Who wants to join me for quick minutes? I'll allow different people if you want. Click on the link if you have a camera and a microphone and you want to join me and give your opinion, your comment on last night's meeting. I'm going to post it right there in the comment section. Unbelievable. Very unbelievable. Very unbelievable. We need you to keep fighting for the people. Oh, I'm not going to stop. Don't worry, Jose. And I need you to continue to support. And a lot of people that are supporting, I need you guys to continue. And things, I just want to say that these things are going to start coming out more, folks. I'm hearing things from some other people too. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, really? Really? And it's always the people you try to help, right? It's always the people like Anderson, always the people that try to help. You know what I mean? But so please just be mindful of these things and let people know whatever you say. I know Freddie, and until you can give me some facts, right? Whatever. And if it's about his personal life, that's his business, right? He's not an elected official. That's the difference. Now, if I'm doing something illegal, if I, committed a crime or whatever, currently, even as I'm not an elected official, fine. But the reason why we may talk about certain things that may be personal to me and other people is that we are not elected officials. We are private citizens. But if you are doing certain things, right, as an elected official, then it's not okay. And that's why I may talk about it, right? No, Anderson, I hear you, Anderson. I did. And I'm not going to go back and forth with you on this. There were parts in the podcast I spoke good about your intention. You did. I disagree with how you go about certain things. Okay, that's fine. And I'm good with that. My personal opinion showed that, Freddie. Good night. I'm not going to show all that, Anderson. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'll let the people, if they want to go see that. But it was about 2.5 seconds, and it wasn't much. And everything else you said, it doesn't matter if you said that, Anderson. The fact remains is that, you know what? I don't know what I did to you. You had an issue. You went and ranted about me for 10 minutes. You posted my address. You did. Rurose told you did, right? And now you on here with him for an hour doing this nonsense, right? Come on, look, he talked about my wife and you were a part of it. Stop it. I ain't talking about your family or nothing, and I'm not. Okay, so have a nice day and have a nice life, actually. Freddie, all your enemies are watching Basement Politics now. Yes, and shout out to the mayor. I heard the mayor was actually on watching me live. Wow, man, I made it big. I'm on the Tribune. I got them doing an hour special about me. They keep talking about me. They sending CPS at me. They sending all kinds of the child care counselor Westchester and Philip Wise, who called me a stupid idiot. That's right. If you're on a daycare center, tell them not to send you the guy, Philip Wise. He's an aggressive man for whatever reason. He called me a stupid idiot, and he implied that I couldn't read, right? This is this guy. That's unbelievable. Hector was beat up. By who? Who was Hector beat up by? Wow, that's interesting. I didn't hear about him being beat up, but he was? Why was he beat up? I'm going to go on to my page really quick. I want to get the video from yesterday's meeting. So let me know. Let's talk about it. That was sad. I'm starting to have some of my theories as to why they didn't cut it off. Why didn't they stop them? Why wasn't they stopped, right? Why didn't they stop them? Why didn't someone say, hey, Tasha, chill out. All right, enough. Why? Was there nobody there? Total disrespect. In my hood, he would have got his teeth knocked out. 1,000%. 1,000%. The problem is now is that if that happened to him, guess where the cops are coming? Guess where the cops are coming, right? And so now that's another thing that I have to deal with, and I got enough on my plate already now, So I don't want to have to deal with that. I'm going to allow my attorney to do it because you know what? That's the best way to truly go about it, honestly, at this point especially. So I'm going to do that. He's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. He really is. And that's all I can say. I want to get this video, but yeah, yesterday, I don't know why no one allowed for Freddie. Let me reiterate what I said in the comment last night. I don't care what color Lakisha is. She is a puppet, plain and simple. The Spanos have been in a political game for the better part of a century. Their designs are well known by now. That they supported Lakisha against Cater is all we need to know. The Spano crime family does not support anybody that they do not completely control. It is that simple, folks. I got to see Ma trying to come in, but I can't. It's saying device not connect. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I see you. Yeah, absolutely. And that was my point. I was trying to make that they're controlling you. Look at what you're doing. You're approving these zoning changes down in Warburton area, right, which they spoke about yesterday during the meeting of the vote, And what is that doing? Allowing for a senior center, yes. But not just a senior center is going to be put up there. Now that the zoning laws have been changed, they can move forward with other things that they're going to build. So they sell it to you like they're doing the change because it's a senior center that they want to put up. But that allows for other developments as well now because zoning change is just not for that one footprint there where they put in that senior center, right? So it's a game that they play. And they don't like that Freddie Vasquez, calls it out. They don't like that. I call them out on it. So this is what they're doing to me. CPS, false phone calls, prank phone calls, hour-long specials. It's unbelievable, right? But we're going to keep going. It's so wild. It was like watching New Jersey Drive. Yeah, right? Oh, you were there. I saw you. I had left, before you got there probably. That Tasha Diaz stunt was very ghetto. Very ghetto. But they set her up. This is what I'm trying to tell Tasha. This is what I was trying to tell Lakisha. They set you guys up. I've been involved in Yonkers politics since 1968. I think the actions of the city council last night speaks volumes, and no further explanation is needed other than to say that this was a shameful display. 1,000%. 1,000%. A shameful display. Absolutely. Now, some of the people that came to talk in the beginning, I want to show that really quick because they were not, I don't think they live in Yonkers? I think one of them was an actress. I want to show you this woman that came to talk. And you can tell that it was all staged. Those that spoke in favor of it didn't give any real reasons. They just said, I like the what's happening. I like Mike Spano. He deserves another 4 years. That's all they would say. Now, who is this actress here?
Situation.
No, that's I'm gonna get
followed by Teresa Bowman Smith.
Was actually yelling at the woman you saw there with the glasses.
Good evening, everyone. As they stated, my name is Teresa Bowman Smith.
Oh, Teresa. She's a black woman and a Republican, but she's in support of another 4 years for a Democrat.
Council President, two things. Firstly,
think about what I just said. That was a black woman who's a Republican that was in support of a Democrat. Yeah, okay. That's the weirdest
and there
thing
may be some speakers who are in the overflow room that they're.
Right.
My name is Jamie Torrero. I was born and raised in Yonkers, and I have witnessed the transformation that the city has done. As a mother and concerned citizen, I ask that you guys vote to extend the term limits for Mayor Mike Spano. Good night, and thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Look, she even had to read the good night and thank you part. So this is staged. This is staged. I just want to make that very clear. This is staged. Very staged. She said, Oh, thank you and good night. She had to read that part. But another person that came in, I want you to hear what he had to say. Yeah, Lady Rage.
Diana Sanchez. Is Diana Sanchez in the chamber?
Good evening, everyone. My name's
Really quick, that's Diana Sanchez from Yonkers Sanctuary Movement. This is the woman that Tasha Diaz let have last night. Unbelievable display.
18 years ago, I came to City Hall for the first time at age 17. And it was when we had the mayor, Phil McConey, who's actually plans to make all this city's buildings, construction buildings came from him. He was a Republican, for people who do not know history of Yonkers. They were cutting the budget from the school districts. And now that I have children, I could share that it's in a similar situation. I see my community pass through here, and are actually starting to move to other states because they can no longer afford. It's a very shame that we're here right now. And basically, we're waiting up to you to vote what it's right.
Oh, damn. Sorry. I was Diana Sanchez. She's the one that, I'm sorry, that was Diana Sanchez. I'm sorry. I put it on thing because she's the from Yonkers Sanctuary Movement. I'm sorry. That's the woman that Tasha Diaz let have, right? And she was just going off on her. And what I was saying was that she mentioned, she was talking about people leaving the state and leaving Yonkers and then ultimately the state, right? So a lot of people have been leaving Yonkers, leaving to Pennsylvania, Florida. And so going back to the puppet comment with Lakisha Collins-Bellamy, she is helping this happen. She is approving things on the agendas that they're voting on that are causing the rents to go up, that are causing many Blacks, they're number one, leaving this city, to have to leave because of the high rents. And like I said, the developments are not only expensive, but they cause the rents for the properties around the developments to go up. Investors are coming in to buy those properties as well, and then they're renovating them. But there's an issue, or some people are saying there's a big issue with the way they are doing it. People are complaining about fake building department notices that are telling them that they have to move out. The building is being condemned. All these years, they've complained, nothing's ever happened, but all of a sudden now, there's inspectors coming and they are condemning buildings and you have to move out. I got one email from one woman in regards to an inspector named Edward Newcomb. Sounds like Duke Nukem. computer game character. But I read the email. It doesn't look very professional. It doesn't look legit. I could be wrong, and I tried to look them up, but the 2 numbers I found didn't work. And so are they, kicking people out through, illegal scams, pretending to be building department officials to get people to actually move out? And then people just don't really pay attention to it. They're like, okay, I got to go. We got to find somewhere else. They assume that it's legit. I went to one building where one tenant thought it was legit. He moved out, but the first 2 floor tenants did not. They found out it was BS, so they stayed. And so what happened is the 3rd floor where the tenant moved out got completely renovated, but the rest of the building looks like crap. Horrible condition. And so they're leaving these apartments like this so people will move out. So people are forced to have to look for somewhere else to stay. And that's not okay. Yet none of our city council members are speaking on it. Their concern is extending term limits because everything is great and we have to continue with the progress that has been made. But what is that progress? What is that progress exactly? I just see a lot of people getting evicted from homes. I see a lot of small businesses closing, a lot of minority-owned business. And it's sad when you have a largely minority city council. And so the puppet comment is legit. Why did I use the word black? It's because I was trying to drive the point home. That's how they view you. You're not going to be a part of them. I wouldn't be a part of them. So I'm not saying that you're not as good or that I'm better than you. We are just not. It's not because we're not good enough. It's not that at all. You've earned what you have, and I give you that. And I told you that in the very beginning, City Council President. You don't mention that. You don't mention how I praised you and how I looked to you as someone that can create this change that we are calling for now. But we are here doing it because the 4 of you ladies failed to do it. And you had all the opportunity in the world. You could have got the housing ordinance passed. You could have assured that there was going to be more affordable housing. But you didn't. You mostly approved zoning changes that only brought about more luxury high rises. You brought about zoning changes that forced small businesses to close down, including businesses on your turf over on Warburton. And so if I speak out about that, don't try and spin a narrative to make me look like this horrible racist, I guess, or mean person, because you knew exactly what I said. Remember, you are an attorney. You are Esquire. And I'm sure that you comprehend it very well. For those that did what they say did last night, we'll see in years to come what they did last night. Tasha rocks rough and tough with her Afro puff. They're gonna call you a racist, but I know what you're talking about. That's a song. They beat up Hector, Freddie. All our constitutional rights are being violated by the status quo. Who beat up Hector, though? Because I saw that when stuff started breaking out, I don't know. There was one individual I know the cops had to pull over things, and then one cop was grabbing on Hector. I know he fell backward, and then another cop came in, which I'm familiar with. It seems to have always been a good guy with me. And he goes, "I got him." He was like, "Come on." He kind of like said, I got him," and then he's walked out with Hector. But I don't know what happened outside and what even started it all. Right? What was the issue? Not about housing exactly, but this city council voted to dumb down the requirements of the commission of the building department, one of the most important departments. How many of their community lives lives in illegal, dangerous apartment? Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And she's referring to Sam Borelli, the commissioner, the current commissioner of the building department, who is not a licensed engineer. Prior to Sam Borelli being the commissioner, becoming commissioner, the requirement was that you were a licensed engineer. However, according to city officials, they could not find a qualified licensed engineer to fill the position. So instead, they moved Sam Borelli over from the DPW, I think recycling place, or maybe, I don't know, I think he was the deputy commissioner of DPW, and made him commissioner of building department after Mike Breen introduced legislation to reduce the requirements of the commissioner for building department, basically saying you don't have to be a licensed engineer. But then they went and hired a deputy commissioner at the building department that is a licensed engineer. So why is he not the commissioner? I thought they couldn't find anyone. But again, they couldn't find anyone that was going to sign off on the zoning changes or whatever that they're doing there, the plans and everything, because no one would risk their license. That is why they have gone through many building department commissioners. These guys have worked years for that license. They paid a lot of money to get that license. And they're not just going to sign off on anything because someone is telling them to, since they've made some money off it. I mean, there are some good people in the building department. I happen to know that guy Lou is a good guy. From one of the stories that I heard, allegedly, the Spano sister, Lane Spano, I believe her name is, walked into Lou Albano's office, and I might be saying his last name wrong, Lou Albano, and slammed $1,000 cash on his desk, seeking a favor. Lou, pissed off about it, took the money over to the mayor's office and put it on his desk and said, I'm not going to deal with this shit, unquote. This is according to sources. This is what allegedly happened. And as a result, Elaine Spano was banned from the building department. Now, I happen to know that to be true because the security guard that once was there told me so. And he didn't tell me like in that way, but he was saying that, you know what, I have to do my job. Even the sister of the Spano, the mayor Spano, isn't allowed up in here like that. I have to stop her like you. And you're just Freddie Vasquez. You're not a Spano. So there are some good people. There are a lot of good people that work for the city of Yonkers. A lot of good people that are just staying quiet because it's their job. They need to keep their job. And I get it. Just like I don't want to have my reputation in business hurt because I need to make money to feed my family. They need to make money to feed theirs. But are we going to continue to be held hostage for another 4 years? Or are we finally going to step up and say enough is enough and take the opportunity that is presenting itself this coming year? And if I've dealt with everything I've dealt with so far and I'm still moving forward, then I think that many of you can come right next to me and let's charge and let's do this. And many of you are starting to. Lou is the planning commissioner, the planning department, planning board, the board, the planning board. He's on the planning department. Pushed and shoved. Is that what the heck the situation? Why were they pushing and shoving? Illegal units all over Yonkers put firefighter lives in danger, 1,000%. They rely on building department documents to plan the emergency service. And here's the problem. A lot of those files are not up to date. So that's another problem. So like with my daycare, when I went to go to the building department and look up the file, a lot of stuff was missing. It wasn't organized. It wasn't in order. There was a wall that had been removed, but we could not figure out who removed it. And so I had to deal with it. Even the owner of the building did not know what happened to the wall, but I had to deal with it. And that caused further delays. So when they want to blame me or blame this, no one knew about this wall. I mean, these people came into my place several times. I sat and met with them and they still couldn't give me the exact, items that I needed to make sure I had. They dragged it along. So not only are they incompetent, unorganized, they are retaliatory. They are. Yes, records are a mess. Absolutely. And all this money, why don't they have a digital system already? I deal with the building departments a lot, but mostly in the city, right? And they have a system, DOB Now website. You go on there and then you can self-certify, right? If you have an engineer or an architect, you can do so to speed up the process. You rarely have to call the building department there for anything because you can do everything online. You can see the status, all of that. Why isn't Yonkers having a similar system? We are a much smaller city. And we get a lot of money, right? Because we pay our employees a lot more than the city. So why can't we have things that will benefit the residents? Such as a digital system for the building department that keeps accurate records, that allows people to file permits easily online, submit documents online, and ensure that they're there. Because like DOB.net now will show you what documents you've submitted, what documents you still need. The damn internet site helps you better than the people that actually are at the building department. And that's a problem. And it's not their fault. And I'm not blaming them, saying they don't do a good job, but the place is a mess. And the reason why they brought Sam Borelli in was because he was supposed to organize it. He's a great manager. Well, they said the same thing about Vince Pisci also when they were first hiring. We need someone that can be a good manager. But the place is still a mess. And Vinny Spano agrees with me. Outdated and all mixed up. Yeah, it's crazy there. And then they put us through hell, to add insult to injury. Too much work for those clowns. According to Vinny Spano, it's the union guys. They don't like to work. Oh, they can't do this or they can't do that according to their contracts and stuff like that. So that's what he said. So I'm like, well, Vinny, then y'all guys can't fix that? I mean, you guys run the show. You run the show. Why are we suffering? Don't ask too many questions. You're a troublemaker immediately. Exactly. But, before they knew me, not all of them, I don't want to generalize, but before they knew me, they would have you go up there, it's like you were bothering them. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry if I, asking you to do your job, pardon me. I mean, isn't that what you get paid for? Unbelievable. A qualified licensed engineer would never sign off on projects that the mayor wants. Exactly. And that's why they could not find a licensed engineer. Folks, the reputation of our building department here precedes itself, right? I mean, I deal with architects who don't want to deal with the building department here in Yonkers. Or if they do, they know exactly what kind of hell they're going to enter. It's crazy. I mean, the one architect I had that I was doing the stuff with, and I normally don't use her. I've had other projects. She actually was retiring just about that time. I mean, they made her feel bad. She had an accent. And she didn't want to go back because she didn't like the way they treated her. And if you are to believe what Tasha Diaz said in a meeting once, Sam Borelli mistreats women. That's according to Tasha Diaz in a city council meeting. And so why would she have want to go back? So added to the delays. She didn't want to deal with them anymore. And that's unprofessional. Just like the DPW guys. Oh, I don't even know. I'm hearing they weren't DPW guys that were there at the meeting last night, that were booing at young kids, that were booing at elderly women. Horrible. Horrible. So I want to play that a little bit from my video, where she's yelling at Diana Sanchez. But I mean, the most disgusting thing, she basically calls constituents beggars. And she says, some of y'all that didn't support me, I know I'm going to be seeing y'all after this on the second floor begging. How can you believe that anything she does is genuine and out of her, out of the kindness of her heart or whatever you say, how? Yeah, you are on your own. She calls people that she's supposed to help beggars. Unbelievable. I mean, look what Vinny Spano thinks about the city council president back when we were boys. CCP is such a blowjob position and waste of taxpayer dollars. Really? But for someone like Tasha Diaz, it would mean the world. That's what I say, because Zahi Jarris told me he would like to see Tasha Diaz become city council president. Oh, I'm not lying, folks. I'm not coming with nothing. Listen, and he goes, true. Then I asked him, because he's asking me about a specific page. He wanted to know about a certain page. He goes, and then we started talking about that. So I go, could it be that Caters and Nader and Zahi are working together? He goes, no doubt. That's def possible. One thing about Arabs, they fight, but they always come back together. So I guess he doesn't have much respect for the city council position. Right? And he obviously knows who Zahi Jerris is. But he doesn't know who Brian Harrod is when I asked him. Yeah, okay. You don't know who Brian Harrod is. All this time in Yonkers politics, you don't know who Brian Harrod is. Come on. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense. You guys did the most disgusting thing. You guys came for my family, man. My business, CPS. Really? Folks, by the way, I want to read this also from Ron Matton. It's not just me. I've never seen such thuggish behavior at public meeting as what happened last night. Majority, quote, leader, unquote, Tasha Diaz insulted and called out her constituents. Yes, she verbally attacked the people she is supposed to serve. Her words ignited a fistfight. A few days earlier, I called out Ruros for cyberbullying, and last night he began yelling at me at the conclusion of the meeting. I'm even embarrassed by my own behavior. I yelled back at him, calling him a scumbag, extortionist, and pedophile. The police separated us. I apologize for my behavior, but I will not be bullied in person or online. Right? That's unbelievable. Oh, Eleanor, not Elaine Spano. You're right, Eleanor. So it's not just me, folks. That guy is a problem. I'm not sure why he's out here, but he's a problem. The mayor's sister, Eleanor Lennon, she was constantly going into the building department. How did she get her job at St. John's Hospital? A favor to the mayor? I don't know. That's what I'm going to say, Eleanor, not Elaine. Right? So, folks, you have to think about who are the people that are commenting, and who are they talking about. And I get it. The city council president was pissed off, not just at me. She spoke about a few people. But the little black puppet comment was definitely me. But I think that was really what got her going. But again, I didn't say that you are a little black puppet. I said that's what they think of you as. I'm sorry. That's just experiences that I've had with certain people. And they're using you guys. So that way, 10 years down the line, when there's barely any black folks left in Yonkers, they're going to look back and say, well, who did this? Well, it was 4 black women on the city council. They did it. It wasn't a racist thing. Come on. And then they have you guys arguing on there. Why didn't anyone stop you, ladies? Why did they allow you to just argue like that? Tasha Diaz, they did that because they done with you. They want to give people reason not to reelect you. Tasha, you don't see the moves because they use you and they abuse you and then they done with you and they drop you. That's just how it is. I want to see this real quick. Did they play it? Yep, here we go. Look at this craziness.
What was the intent of 1994? Was it to keep Yonkers racist? I don't know, because in 1994 I was still in high school and I wasn't able to vote. But I know I was living on the east side of Yonkers, and I know when I moved over there was a huge rock at the entrance of Gaffney Place that said "Niggers go home." I remember that.
That's another thing that I don't know if that was appropriate. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But using the N-word like that, I think you should have just, said the N-word and then, But really quick, I want to go to Tasha Diaz here. Let's see how she goes off. Jeez. Freddie, it's tragic that somebody called me a racist for knowing the lyrics of a 90s hip-hop classic. That's an absurdity. Tasha's Hispanic, not black. No, Tasha's not Hispanic. And her performance last night means that she is henceforth known as Lady of Rage. No, she's not black. She's actually, she's not Hispanic. She's actually African-American. Her last name is actually Freeman. She uses that name, Diaz, because she wanted to appeal to black people. It's kind of like similar, like Elena Goldberg Velasquez. She's not Latina, but she claims to be the first Latina city court judge. Latina female, I should say, city court judge. But that's not true. That's not true. I don't know why my internet is slow. I don't know, folks. I wanted to show you her letting this, poor woman have it. But I don't know. What do you guys think about her calling constituents beggars? What do you think about that? Beggars. That's what she said. She called Diana Sanchez a beggar. She said, you're one of the begging that's going to be begging me after this is over. It's almost like they felt that, you know what, we're going to do this no matter what. You can't stop us. We run the show. Nothing's going to happen. And so we're going to be able to say this. And you can't do nothing about it. So I want to make this go viral. That's my plan for the Thanksgiving holiday. Okay? We're going to make this go viral. I want the whole world, the country at least, to see what Yonkers politics is all about. So we're going to make this go viral. Let's make this City Hall madness go viral so people can talk about Yonkers politics. What is going on there? It reminds me of some videos that I've seen from other countries where, you know, people would take off shoes and throw them at the politicians. You guys ever see that? Unbelievable. I'm glad she didn't take her chancleta off, her flip-flop, and toss it at Diana Sanchez. And if Diana Sanchez, if you're listening, I would love for you to come on the show. Pastor Coleman, also, I'd love for you to come on the show. That'd be great if you guys would be willing to come on. Let me see if I can see it here. No, it's not it. I don't know why it won't play. But yeah, I'd love to have you guys, Diana and Pastor Coleman from the Yonkers NAACP. I would love to speak to you about this. Let me see if I can get it from my podcast. I just want to show this again. This is crazy. This is unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Blacks against Latinos, because you had the whole sanctuary something. I'm embarrassed. Hell happened here in the city of Yonkers, your city council. I don't know. Well, maybe he'll watch back. But it was crazy. Let's watch Tasha Diaz. Look at how they just stood there. The city clerk just sat there. This Diana Sanchez, she was talking to. Shout out to Sanctuary Movement. This is heard. There's NAACP. Pastor Coleman. Wow. These are the organic. That's unbelievable. Did I miss the part where she called the? So if that person does. All right, here we go. Here we go. Watch this.
On what you just said and for bringing this legislation forth. Because people like us, and when I say like us, we stick together. Okay?
Wow.
You got people in here that are stating everything is about municipality. No, it's not. It's not. It's about making sure you deliver for your district. Okay? And when people say, my streets look like this and he hasn't done this, this is why you have people that you designate for certain districts. So if that person does not bring those goals back to him, they cannot be fixed. I sat here day after day.
Look at these nails.
To the phoniness.
Oh, wow. Look how she does Dakota song. Look at that. Wow. So I want to stop. So I mean, you know, folks, for someone who likes to cry victim and says, oh, people attacking me, this, that, and the third. Like, look at what she's doing to Corazon Pineda Isaac, councilwoman from the 2nd district. Why? She didn't say anything to her. I don't understand that. But she didn't like the fact that she didn't vote yes. And she's always had a thing for Corazon. She's always had this level of hate, animosity, and jealousy for Corazon. Sure, she's prettier, younger, gets more attention from the men. That bothers her. That bothers her. And she probably doesn't get as much, you know, criticism as she does, Tasha does. But Tasha, you bring it on yourself when you do things like this. This is crazy. I want to just see if I can get the, yeah.
They are playing you. They are playing on your intelligence.
She's talking, playing on yours. Lack of. Your lack of.
When they come out here, they're saying another story.
Is she using too?
And let me tell you, there's a lot of people that spoke today that was against me, and I still help you to this day.
Watch your name face.
Churches that are sitting here that come with me, and I provide for your parishioners.
She's addressing, I believe is Diana. Sorry. Yeah. She said you called the cops on me. That was an issue of her calling the cops on her. She's saying, "Oh, I'm the one that's keeping it real. I'm done with this fake stuff." And she just let her have it. Where is that ever okay? And why did no one stop it right there? Or even before it got to that point? Think about that. Think about it. Why do you think that no one stopped her sooner? Why did they allow that? Why did they allow Lakisha Collins Bellamy to go on there and talk about her personal matter and to use that time to enact a revenge or to let people who have criticized her know exactly how she felt about them? Why? An important meeting as that. It's almost took away from it, distracted us from it. And they were throwing Tasha and Lakisha under the bus. They were using her to target certain individuals as well. They want people to say, "Oh, man, that guy Freddie, oh, he's messed up. That's wrong, yo, blah, blah, blah," or whoever else she was talking about. And also create friction among the Latino and Black community, as well as the Black and white communities. They are causing division among us by doing that. No good friend, Tasha, would allow you to go that long doing that. No good friend, Lakisha, would have said, "Yeah, you should let people have it right there at that moment in time." No good friend. I'm sorry to say. That wasn't the forum. You could have did an entire press conference or got online real quick and did a live and did that. But not at this meeting during the people's time while you're getting paid to do the people's business. And so all that was staged. All that was a strategy, I would imagine that they called it, to do exactly what I said. Why didn't anyone stop it? She's screaming and yelling at a constituent and calling a constituent who opposes the term extension, I might add, a beggar. And that all of those, she's basically sending a message. We're going to remember that you oppose this. And so when your organization wants something, you're going to come begging and see what's going to happen. That's basically what she was saying there. And that's basically what's happened to me. I don't kiss ass. I don't beg. I come back. And I give you exactly what you gave me. And that's exactly what the people are going to do. They're going to give you all what you gave them last night. Disgusting. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. And everyone should be condemning her. The Latino community, the Black community, the white community, for speaking to someone like that. That could have been any one of us constituents, voters, doesn't matter what color. She's done it to many people before. How is she allowed to continue that job?
Our leaders to change the narrative of being fake, the narrative of being phony.
She took the distribution away, the food distribution, because they use that.
I changed the narrative of being fake, of being phony. Because let me tell you something. When this is all said and done, whichever way the vote goes, I bet you 9 times out of 10,
Listen.
come tomorrow, if I come here, I'll see everybody that was in opposition leaving the second floor.
Wow.
Okay?
Look at
I say that because, yes, I say that because
Wow.
y'all are not keeping it 100%. You got people that came up here and said, I fight for this one, I fight for that one, and then when their cheerleaders go home, like I said, I'll be seeing them leaving the second floor. Begging.
Wow.
Yes, begging. Begging.
Wow.
Begging.
Wow. Did you just fucking begging? Yes, that's right. Begging tomorrow. Emphasizing it. Begging. That's what she really thinks of all of us. Anyone there, everyone there. That's what she thinks. Because Tasha got it in her head. I don't know if it's the wig that's on too tight. But she got it in her head that she is somebody much more than she really is. I love how certain individuals have made comments about people who oppose the term extension as people who never made it or they failed in life. Really? Why do you think Tasha is willing to do this? Why do you think they have been willing to do some of the things they've done? Because they were not able to make it outside of the taxpayers' money. And when they had an opportunity to be used to make money, they jumped on it. But Tasha loves it. She loves it. She has no problems attacking another woman, a Latina woman who she claims that she is always representing and you know, supporting and backing. And how dare anyone like Freddie Vasquez talk about a woman? But here she is, displaying her viciousness, nastiness. I'd never said that to anyone in the community, any constituents, especially ones that I've helped in the past. I've never gone to them and said, you'll be begging when I come around. You're going to come around and beg me for more. I know, you little poor person, you beggar. Who does she think she is? Way disrespectful. Way disrespectful. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. 1000%, Joan. This was a setup. This was a setup. Why would they allow them to go for so long? And why would they not cut the live feed? Why? This was a setup. This was a setup. They're trying to change the demographic here in the city of Yonkers. Moving forward. They don't want to see a council with so many people of color on it. That's just what I truly believe. And it's not that, you know, many of, you know, of Yonkers is racist. I'm not saying that, but I believe that ultimately the people that are coming in, the new people and the ones that the administration is helping bring in, do not want to see this in their body of government. And so by making this look like a shit show for the entire time, that's going to make some people say, even blacks and Latinos say, we don't want another minority. Because I've seen and heard black and Latinos choose someone who was white because they thought they were smarter or could do the job better. And we had this thing what we call white is right. That's like a thing, oh, you got the white is right mentality, right? And I'm not trying to make this about race between any of us and my viewers here because I don't. I want us to all be together on this and always actually. Right. But the reality is it's a game when it comes to politics, and you have to factor in the race of individuals. You have to understand your demographic in order to be successful. Copy, Fred. Begging, that's what she does. People can only see the level they understand. Right. Joan, I suspect their advisors suggested they express themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what they said. Here's your opportunity. Everybody's going to be watching. You know, Freddie's going to probably be there. And I left. You didn't even get to tell it to me. I think they were mad. That's why she went off on somebody else. She probably was wanting to go off on me. She was saving that energy for me, but I wasn't there. God said, Freddie, you must go now. I said, Lord, whatever you want me to do, I'm about it. Politicians love beggars. Absolutely. Right? They love people that are dependent. Especially the top politicians, right? They love people like Tasha Diaz, right? Have you seen the transformation? Pre-politician to post-politician. Huge change. And she loves it. She loves the attention. She loves whatever little money she's getting. She loves the extra perks and benefits. She loves the title, majority leader. She can tell everybody, I'm the majority leader. I'm the majority leader. I'm the majority leader. I'm the majority leader. Majority gang leader. That's right. Majority gang leader, ganging up on people. Gang. And then she tried to bring in the city council president. You saw that? You know, me and you, city council president, we alike. Because we grew up, we like the same. We grew up the same way. I grew up like y'all too. I was poor too. People talked down on my family many times. We struggled. Some days I went hungry. I did. I was homeless with my mother. Okay? I've seen domestic violence. I've seen violence. I've seen drug abuse. I've seen everything. Murders, violence, beatings, bad, blood everywhere. Seen it. I've seen it. And doesn't mean that we have to express that madness just because we're from there in a setting like this. You should have moved past that at this point as a majority leader for the city council of any city. Tasha, you have to grow up. Guys, I don't believe they deserve this scrutiny for real. What's that? What's what they want, what they get, expect. Let's show grace, embrace, show grace. Nah, it's no embracing and gracing, right? So we have to come out next year strong. I'm gonna get up out of here, but we have to come out next year strong. We have to make sure we vote. And 4 more years, a term extension means 4 more years of this if we don't come out and vote. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of seeing this in important meetings. Think about it. Why don't they ever fight that there's all the stupid zoning meetings, zoning changes, and this, that, and the third? You don't see none of this. You see it at the housing ordinance meeting on the vote, and you see it on term extension vote. But everything else, no issues. They get along. 7-0, 7-0, 7-0. I hope the feds are watching, because you guys have let it be known that something is not right in the city of Hills, where nothing is on the level. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I think Lakisha, and you're an attorney, so you would know better than me, right? But I don't think that was a good thing for you to say, to even bring up the judge thing, or the fact that your husband is, that people are mentioning he's going to be a cop. Because it's like you're acknowledging it. And then you're saying certain things that if I was like a detective or investigator or whatever, I'd be like, that sounds suspect, right? Because when you talk about the judge thing, you go, oh, and I know people are saying that, I'm going to be I'm going to become a judge for this. That's my dream, but it's not going to happen in January. No, it's not. Obviously, that would be way too obvious. That would be way too obvious. And you have to finish out your term. That's the deal, right? So finish out your term. And then you become a judge. And then she says, and my husband, he's a police officer. He's a correction officer, and he's not going to become a cop. Otherwise, he would have been a cop, right? But he did take the test last year, and he passed, just in case, when you see him become a cop, right? And he will get there faster than others have, unless they were hooked up. And that will be telling you everything. And the fact that she said those things and she prefaced it, well, it's still my dream. And, well, he took the test and he passed, right? That's obviously saying that it's going to happen. So I want to make sure you know those details, because I want to kind of convince you. That's what that's about. And then she says, well, if I made a deal like that, if I would have sold my vote, I would have wanted it now. No, that wouldn't be smart, Lakisha. Collins Bellamy, City Council President. And if you are as smart as you say you are, and I'm not doubting you, I'm not saying you're not, I'm just saying, if you are as smart as you say you are, then you should know that getting it right now, after the vote or before the vote, will look very suspicious. Very suspicious. You could kind of get away with the promotion thing. You could kind of, but that would be very suspicious because it's too close. It's too close to you. You know what I'm saying? If you become judge right away, you're husband. So come on, Lakisha, and the fact that you trying to kind of play the people, by saying that. I see it. Other people see it. That says everything I need to know. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Please, folks, let this guy Rule Roast know to stop. At least say, listen, not his wife. That was disgusting. He made a sexual comment about my wife. Lucky Rule Roast. I'm telling you, man, like, you lucky. I just want to give you out. I don't say nothing because they try to use everything against me. Everything. Joan was a great councilwoman. She took no shit. And you know what? She was an honest one, because she says, I only want to do one term. And that's exactly what she did. And that is how our government should operate. And she's very intelligent. She knows her stuff. Oh, she will dance circles around these council members now. Circles around them. We need those type of individuals. Let's go, Yonkers. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Another great one. Freddie, love, peace, and soul. Thank you, Romario. I appreciate you, man. Always. I appreciate the people that support me, and I do, And it's sad, though, because a lot of the times that, the things that's happening, a lot of it actually is coming from people that I try to do something for. I try to help, man. So If I try to help a whole city, is the whole city gonna throw me under the bus at one point? I'm just kidding. I'm joking. And Anthony, CA Corrections Officer, crossover to YPD positions without a problem with maximum hiring age. Guess that's a question for Anthony. That was a great review, Freddie. As always, thank you. What's your name, lady? Ezra. How do you pronounce your name? I'm sorry, Ezra. I just don't want to say it wrong. Ezra, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, so that's my thing right there. And I really, really what I want you guys, if anything out of this, let that guy Rue Rose know, please, because the fact that you go on there and support me, that makes him mad, right? So the best way to get somebody back is not to be physical, not to be cursing them out, not to be going crazy, but just say, hey, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna be happy. He still has people that support him because we are official. We are real. We ain't with that fake stuff. We ain't with that pedo stuff. We ain't with none of that nonsense. We with the people. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics, and I represent the people. That's who I represent. And I appreciate to the person that said to him, at least Freddie Vasquez is out there doing stuff in the community, giving back. What are you doing besides filming people and exploiting the community, right? Because he makes money off you guys' tragedy. Yeah. So when he's filming your tragedy, your family's tragedy, he's doing that because he makes money off it. The more tragedy he can show people, the more people are going to watch, the more he's going to get advertisement money. That's the thing. That's what he wants. That's why he puts your family's face on there, right? So that's why he will show that, when you're in an accident, he's got the camera all in your face, right? Your family member passed away, he's all in your face. The guy's disrespectful for money. I don't get paid. I'm not even competition. I'm not competing with him. This is not a competition, right? I'm doing something more productive with purpose that is informing the people. And yes, while my style may be sometimes aggressive and I may say certain things, that's because I don't, hold back. And honestly, when you're dealing with certain individuals, like these individuals, you can't. They don't hold back. I mean, they've been doing what they do to people for a long time before Basement Politics. I mean, you can look at videos of Tasha Diaz screaming at constituents in a building, in one of the buildings here in the city of Yonkers, right? She's threatened Rubo to F him up. She's called Corazon Pineda Isaac a broke B. That's right, a broke B. So this woman has been rude, nasty, aggressive, and according to sources like Vinny Spano, I mean, how much better of a source can you get? He said that she assaulted her stepfather. And Ruros is saying, oh, well, if he said that to Freddie Vasquez in confidence, and then he's telling people, you should watch out if you're giving him information. Listen, you ain't got to worry about nothing if you're giving me information and you about doing the right thing, if you're about the people and making change. But the individual that told me this wasn't an honest person that was doing this because he is trying to do good here. He was throwing her under the bus. Why? Because they are playing politics. Tasha Diaz is a chess piece to them. Corazon Pineda Isaac, Shanae Williams, Lakisha Collins Bellamy, Mike Breen, John Rubo. They are chess pieces. And I don't mean any disrespect by that. I won't even say what color chess piece. I'm just saying that they are moved around. When they are told what to do, how to do it, how to say it, where to say it, you are a chess piece for them. And Ruros is a chess piece also, a pawn. A pawn. And they are using him to attack me because they won't do it themselves. And he knew he wanted Tasha Diaz to have something said about her on my podcast, so he told me that. Why? Well, because she offended Sam Borelli at the building department when she insinuated that he had a problem with women, that he mistreated women. She did that on a live show. That was a no-no. So she got scolded. How do you scold her? Well, let's tell Freddie Vasquez about something she did. And I got a lot more. I'm Michael Rodriguez, a.k.a. Freddie Vasquez, the undercover journalist. Stay tuned, Yonkers. Thank you for those that are supporting me. Please, if there's any issues or any questions you have about something you may have heard about me, I welcome you and invite you. Unlike these people that hide, I welcome you and invite you. Don't make a comment on Facebook. Don't make a post. Don't message me. Call me. Call me. Call me. Or email me, because I'll get those right away too. politicwithfred@gmail.com. If you want to speak to me, then email me. I'll give you the phone number, and then you can ask me about whatever you want, and I will speak to you about it. If you got questions about the video that he's posted, if you have anything. But I'm not going to utilize any more Basement Politics podcast time to discuss Ruros, Anderson Sr., and anyone else that's not a real relevance in politics here, that are nothing but minions who are tools, pawns that are utilized to the benefit of others. We must focus on the others. They are the ones that we must continue to keep our focus on and make sure that we vote out. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you for watching me, folks. I appreciate it. You, Freddie, you are an express train. Brilliant. Thank you. Like a runaway train, you know? You seen that movie? Yours is from the heart. Oh, Freddie, it is. And I appreciate that you recognize that. Because, you know, like when I went up the other day, and a lot of people say you know, it was good or whatever. And I guess, you know, but I wasn't trying to be good. I wasn't trying to do the great job. I wasn't trying to do the best job. I wasn't trying to give the best speech. I wasn't trying to have an agenda. You know, I wasn't even supposed to go up there and talk. I went out of turn. But it came from the heart, Romario. Whatever I said came from the heart. I felt that, right? I didn't need a script or nothing like that, because what I am speaking about, I truly care about. I come from the neighborhood that is now being gentrified, and people are being pushed out. And I remember when they didn't care about us on that side at one point. And now you care about it, but you want us out. And it was white people too that was on that side with us. So it's not a race thing, but you know, obviously it's primarily Black and Latinos, right? But there were white people also, and it was just an area that people who were poor usually lived, right? And instead of giving us something so we can better ourselves, you just let it stay like that. Let it deteriorate even more. Buy it cheap. Wait for the developers to come in. Sell it to them for high. Let them develop luxury rentals and get the people up out of there. And that's not okay. That bothers me a lot. It does. It bothers me a lot, right? And honestly, I'm called a bully, but I actually don't like the bullies. And I bully the bullies. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for watching the show. Please spread the word. Continue to share the podcast. But we have to be sorry for her. She got assaulted with a flip-flop. Yeah. Yo, these people bugging. Bugging. Folks, let's vote for change, man, because we got a new mayor up in there, get some new city council. Guess what? You guys will have opportunities for jobs within the city. It only takes us to stick together and not be divided. Why they are attacking me like this? Because I am on here trying to unite us. I am out here uniting us, not just me by myself, but I got the podcast, so it gets out there a little more. And there's a lot of other people working that you may not know about. So I'm not saying this is me. This is all of us. This is us, right? And so we're working, but because I'm more vocal through the podcast, they want to shut it down. But we can't allow that to happen. Don't let their false narratives distract you. Let's stick together. We have a goal. So next year, 2023, we must come out to vote. If you're not registered to vote, register. If you don't know if you're not registered, you're probably not. Go registered. Register to vote. If this is the only election you come out and vote for, I'm okay with that. And not that that's all I want, but I definitely need everyone to come out, okay? And we have to make sure we show up. Next year, let's show up. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Let's create change so we can give more people DPW jobs. We can give more people YPD jobs, YFD jobs. You like that? Sanitation? How about that? How about in the building department? Anyone? Building department? Who wants to work for the parking authority? Anyone? Parks department? Anyone? Just put your application in, man. Don't forget your resume. Get your references. And that's all it's going to take. And if you are qualified and your application is one of the best out of the many we get, you will get the job. That is it. You will not have to go to any political functions whatsoever. Guaranteed. You did a great job. Go home. Be with your family.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. It's time for change. They don't want that, man. I'm creating a lot of noise. Divide and conquer. Absolutely. That's what they're doing here. They're trying to divide us. Who were the ones fighting? Who were the ones fighting? What groups? And I don't want to say Diana Sanchez did anything because she was attacked. She had to defend herself, okay? And I would have done the same thing. Diana, I'm saying that I am so happy I was not there because I would have been on your side and I would have been saying some stuff. And then when Rule Rose would have jumped on it, you know, he would have just exploded with that. I said, look, see what I'm doing. You see? So I cannot do that. So I'm glad I left, but I was angry watching it, Diana, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that you were attacked so viciously, so publicly. But you know what's going to be popping in 2023. I'm Freddie Vasquez. I'm up out of here. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble. Eat a lot of turkey. Rest. I'm going to be resting, but I'm also going to be doing research. Join me on Sunday when I will be back for an all-new episode of Basement Politics. Let's go over the mayor's tenure as mayor here in the city of Yonkers. What does the last 12 years look like? Have they really been as great as they say? Was this term extension vote justified? Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to be. You know what, Anthony, let's talk about that because of the holidays. Let's talk offline. But that's right, Friday, for sure. We are definitely, Sunday, I will be on. I want to discuss the mayor's 12-year term as mayor. What did he accomplish, really? What did he not accomplish? Because remember, nothing really started changing until like 2 years ago. So what happened to the other years? If we want to tout those developments as progress, what happened to the other years? Maybe it's not a good track record. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Join me. And I'll let you guys definitely know about Friday.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Folks, have a beautiful and blessed Thanksgiving. May you rest with the families. Try to stay home. Don't go shopping. Don't spend your money. Save it. Spend time with your family, shooting the breeze, watching every second go by. Because you can be here today and gone tomorrow. And may God bless you, and may that never happen. God forbid. But I'm saying, enjoy your family. Spend time with the fam. I love family time. That's why I love Thanksgiving. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Appreciate the podcast. Let them know. Freddie Vasquez is speaking truth in Yonkers, and they don't like it. Let that guy Rue Roast know for me, please. All I want for Christmas is for you to go comment on Rue Roast and let him know. We don't believe you. That's all you got to say. We don't believe you. We don't believe you.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
In another word, Mr. Lugo lied to me, and I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to want a chicken. So thank you.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
No!